listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion, delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio. Or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are operators standing by.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan or plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And of course, we celebrate every day on Ron Siegel Radio. What are we celebrating today? National Lash Day? I don't know about that one. I think, Josh, I've got to get my buzzer back on here. There's some reason that I don't think that we're going to do that. No. Arabian Horse Day. Nice looking horses. Chocolate Mint Day. Yes, indeed. That's where we're going. Now, I looked at it on one of the sites where they tell us what we're celebrating. They came up with chocolate mints, and it looks kind of like a candy. On another one, they came up with the ice cream. Now, I must admit that one of my son's favorite ice cream, I think, is chocolate mint. And my idea is take off the mint. Just give me the plain old chocolate. But that's all. Then I guess it wouldn't be Chocolate Mint Day then. Or I go to one of our favorite restaurants not far from our studio here, and they have chocolate mints at the door. You know those? I don't know if it's a nationwide item or if it's just a West Coast. Those little green wrapper they call, I think it's Andes mints. You know, I will admit on the way out the door, sometimes on the way in the door, I grab a handful of them. On the way out the door, sometimes they're already gone. Maybe there's other people like me that like those. I like them. But just a different, you know, well, some people say I'm a lot odd, but a little bit odd right there. If it's something that's good to eat, especially if it's chocolate, I am there. Let's take a look. Wow, we missed this one. I didn't see this before, Josh. U.S. Coast Guard Reserve Day. So, well, you know something, being that we're mentioning it's the U.S. Coast Guard Reserve Day, it's commemorated as the founding day of the U.S. Coast Guard Reserves. I will mention that at the American Legion, this coming Sunday, I think it is, American Legion Post 277. It's called the Funny Farm comedy show. Okay, let's see. We got Miranda's there. No, not that one. Miranda Meadows. Billy Myers, not the first, not the second, but the third. Handren Sevi, Todd Perry, Mikey Barajas. Hosted by Kevin the Caveman. I wonder who that is. And headlining Saul Trujillo. Okay, so, you know, now, here's the beauty. Why do I mention it? Because I don't mention a lot of these things on radio. American Legion, if it's supporting the American Legion, I'm there. And this one also is going to support the local fire department. So think about that if you've got nothing better to do, or you can cancel whatever you're doing. Go to the American Legion Sunday the 23rd. Doors at 5, open at 5:30. $10 to get in the door. How can you go wrong there? I think if you go to the Intuit Dome, parking is 100, 50 or something, way more than that. But I digress. Let's move right on along with what we're talking about today. Dow Jones Industrial Average, it's down 109 points. The S&P 500 is up 4. The NASDAQ is up 5. Oil up 61 cents a barrel. And the most important thing that we look at, the 10-year Treasury, 4.555. It's basically flat on the day. And why do we talk about that? Because the 10-year Treasury is what drives mortgage rates. And it's very interesting listening now because the media is having a big problem. You know, they love everything that the Trump administration does. The lame media, yes, the ones that have their viewership dropping by 50, 60, 70%, or their readership dropping by 70, 80, 90%. They want to fight everything that the Trump administration does. Now, I get jaded a little bit because I am in Southern California. Josh, are they as bad in Nevada as they are here in Southern California about everything the administration does? Okay, and Nevada is not nearly as blue as California is. But, you know, there's still a lot of blue, and Josh is over there in Vegas, so my bet is some of the outskirts might not be quite as blue as they are right in the big cities. But here's the issue: is you watch they've been trying to build, the media has been trying to build this big fight between Trump and Powell. Now, has Trump been critical of Powell? Well, Trump's critical of everybody. If you don't do exactly what he wants, he's critical. But he doesn't control the Federal Reserve. What does he have more influence over? Well, he has more influence over the 10-year Treasury because that's how we fund the government. Now, for a long time, the Federal Reserve was buying the 10-year Treasuries. Try and figure that one out when you're selling something with your left hand and buying it with your right hand. And that's what you call, I don't know what you call it, but it seems odd to me. But I digress. Moving right along, what we're talking about here is, if you looked yesterday, Scott Bessent was on doing an interview, and I can't believe this, but I guess it's true. The U.S. Treasury building in Washington, D.C., the front doors haven't been opened in several years. Now, Bessent said that every day that he's in Washington, he's going to the office. And everybody else has to also. Now, talk about driving a bunch of people crazy. Well, what a shame they've got to go to work. Doesn't that bother you? I kind of like the idea of people having to go to work if we're going to pay them, right? And it's not the government that pays them. We pay the government to pay people. Now, if you notice, crazy Maxine Waters recently was telling one of the guards in front of the Department of Education, I write your check, I pay you. Well, no, Maxine, he's a worker. He pays you. You work for him. Figure that out. And what if we never get Congress to realize that they're supposed to be working for the people, not just the special interests? We'll be a lot better off. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, got a great broadcast lined up for you. We've got a real-time real estate. We're going to talk about Mortgage Minute. We've got Sergio's on the line. I didn't realize Sergio's here. Good to see you, buddy. Have to get you back in to come on and do another radio show with us. Been a long time. So let me get back to my notes here. Otherwise, Josh is going to get mad at me. The return to urban living, why more people are moving back to the cities. Shocking truth about medical costs. Are you satisfied with your savings? Most Americans are not. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
As the economy slows, do you know anyone worried about job loss? At Siegel Lending Team, we offer the Home Select Loan. Think of it as a financial superhero cape for homeowners with good income and credit. It not only saves your home, but also throws a life ring to your credit score. Because who needs stress when you can have peace of mind? Let's secure your future with a smile. Visit rsrhomeselect.com. rsrhomeselect.com. NMLS 217037.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call. 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990. And every day at this time, OBMMI. They provide the most comprehensive, accurate, timely, and interactive analysis of pricing ever conducted in the mortgage industry, calculated from actual locked rates with consumers across 35% of all mortgage transactions nationwide. They don't tell us the points paid, the points received, or the APR. They only tell us the number that you locked rates at, they locked rates at, and what you put into your mortgage calculator to figure out what your monthly principal and interest payment will be. Now, when we look at the mortgage calculator, what do we put in? Oh, I'm sorry, you don't have a mortgage calculator? Well, it's free. rsrlinks.com/mobile app. rsrlinks.com/mobile app. Let's take a look and see the conventional 30-year fix, 6.804. That was down. Jumbo 30-year fix, 6.853. That was up. FHA 30-year fix, 6.513. That was up. VA 30-year fix, 6.391. That was up. USDA 30-year fixed, 6.503. That was up. It looks like there's way too many of the interest rates that went up. These are all yesterday's locking numbers. So obviously we can't lock your loan yesterday. And this is not an offer to lend you money. It's just educating you as to where the market is. If you want to know what's going on in the markets and our thoughts on the markets, each and every business day morning, as early as the data allows, we put out a market report, rsrlinks.com/market minute, rsrlinks.com/market minute. You can get it and it's free. Let's see what's going on in the markets today. So once again, let's go back and we will take a look and see what the S&P 500 is doing. We start there each day. So the S&P 500 right now is up 2 points. The 10-year Treasury up 1 basis point, 4.552. Or if you want to get really precise, it's 4.5522. And then we got the mortgage bond. That is up. That's 6 basis points. When the bond goes up, the rate goes down. 6 basis points means it's not doing a heck of a lot. The mortgage bond is up again, 6 basis points. So we watch that for you. Not a whole lot of news out there, but when there's not a lot of news, you have to really, really be careful of what's going on in the markets. And I'm going to get to why that's happening. But we heard from Philly Fed President Patrick Harker this morning. He talked about the recent January Consumer Price Index inflation report. He discounted the higher than expected print, explaining that in the last decade, CPI inflation in January has surprised to the upside 9 out of 10 times. He believes seasonal adjustments are struggling to keep up with the fast-changing economy. This is similar to what Fed Governor Waller said yesterday, as he said that he was not concerned about the January inflation data. That was hotter than expected, and explained that we often see hotter seasonal inflation data in the beginning of the year. He also said that he was not overly concerned with potential tariffs and that it would be a one-time price increase, but it would not have a meaningful impact on inflation. He explained that if inflation comes down further, the Fed will cut rates accordingly. Former St. Louis Fed President James Bullard spoke this morning as well, and he thought that inflation would continue to trend lower throughout the year. Later this afternoon at 1 o'clock Eastern time, I think that's 10 o'clock our time, there's going to be a 20-year bond auction, which could impact the bond market depending on the level of demand. Additionally, at 2 p.m. Eastern time, 11 o'clock our time, the Fed minutes from the January 29th Fed meeting. This was the meeting where Fed paused So the further insights as to what was discussed can be market moving. The National Association of Home Builders Housing Market Index, Sentiment Index, fell 5 points on concerns over tariffs, elevated mortgage rates, and higher housing costs. Overall index fell 5 points to 42. Current sales conditions fell 4 points to 46. Sales expectations fell 13 points to 46. Buyer traffic fell 3 points to 29. One key note, the main reason confidence slipped was the tariff concerns, particularly with Canada, because we get about 30% of our soft lumber from there. Because the survey was sent out in the beginning of February, some responded when the tariffs were announced, while others responded after President Trump said he would postpone them. On average, those responding before the tariff was announced were at a reading of 38, while those after averaged 44. We believe the drop is much more pronounced because of this, and had the response timing been different, we would have seen a decline, but not as much. Housing starts and permits. They were reported for January, and based on how it was broken down on CNBC, once again, talk about a problem station.
Such an idiot. Such an idiot.
Yeah, I've talked about this before. The next time Diana Olick gets something right about real estate, it will be the first time.
An idiot.
Yes, indeed. Clickbait. That's all she tries to do. Housing starts fell almost 10%, with single family down 8.4%. But a deeper look shows that declines came off the second best number of the year in 2024. Looking at a 3-month and 6-month average shows that we are right in line with where things have been, except for the big jump in December. Multifamily fell 13.5%, but from the highest reading of 2024 in December. Again, the 3 and 6 month averages are right in line. Looking at single family starts on a yearly basis, it's been pretty stable over the last several years. Multifamily saw large increases in 2021, 2022, and 2023, but there was a big drop off in 2024. Looking at completions, which are typically on a 2-year delay on average from starts, show that there was a big jump in completions in 2024 due to a big rise in multifamily starts from 2 years ago. The most reading multifamily starts figure for January, which dropped off significantly, tells us that in 2025 and 2026, there will be less multifamily completions, which will be supportive of home values. Secondly, as we get into 2026, rents are going to probably start rising, which could be inflationary. But remember, there's about a 1.5 to 2 year lag before we see that show up in the numbers. Bottom line, the housing market needs more single family supply to mitigate the affordability challenges faced by many first-time buyers, but the price for that new home is itself an affordability challenge. With multifamily, the permit pace of 487,000 is almost half the peak of 813,000 in February 2023, and points to continued slowing pace of new supply after the delivery flood seen in 2024. That's the Mortgage Minute, brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Now think about some of these numbers that we're giving you. If we have more supply right now, okay, that means prices should drop a little bit or stay steady. If supply dries up, that means prices will go up. Okay, because when supply goes down, price goes up because we got more, unless the demand drops, we have increasing demand. So we're going to continue to see strength. Now, the flip side of that, you have to remember, is the fact that, what did I start talking about in the last segment? Well, we started talking about the fact that the president and the Treasury Secretary Brissent, they're not talking about dealing with the Treasury or the Federal Reserve anymore. They're talking about, that's what the media has been trying to battle and trying to cause conflict. What is the Treasury control? They control the Treasury issuances, the money that they need to borrow to fund the government on a regular basis. Now, when the money comes back in, well, that's paying off some of the debt. So sometimes they have to just roll that. It's kind of like your credit card bill. You might pay your credit card this month, but you didn't have a lot of extra money. So you run the credit card bill back up next month. Just the way it goes. Federal Reserve does that, but they're using their short-term treasuries, their notes, their bonds, the longer bonds. They're using all these different tools. When they put more supply on the market of the 10-year, okay, that might bring the price of the 10-year down, which brings the rate up. Now, if they stop selling 10-year bonds, that brings the supply down. But if the demand stays there, okay, then the price is going to go. If the supply goes down, then you might start seeing the price go up. That means rates go down. Now, how does the government going to fund the country? Well, they're going to sell a different bond. But if companies still want or banks still want that 10-year, people still want the 10-year, or the countries want that 10-year, it is the most popular. Well, and the supply is dropping. Well, the price goes up, the rate goes down. Now, the mortgage bond tends to follow closely to the 10-year treasury. Historically, it was 1.79 was the spread. So if you go over and you look at what is the 10-year treasury doing right now, and you say, okay, add 1.79 historically, you'd be able to say, okay, that's what you're going to be looking at for a 30-year fixed rate mortgage. So right now, the 10-year treasury is at 4.55. That's about that equates to about a 6.3 mortgage rate. But we're not at 6.3. We're at 6. I think we said earlier that we're at 6.8 yesterday. That's because the spread is greater than what it has been historically. That's how you figure that out. As it starts going down, not only will the price of the rate or the rate of the 30-year mortgage go down, so will that spread. And we'll start seeing rates go down. And that is something that, yes, the Treasury does control. They don't need to make any changes with the Federal Reserve. They don't even have to talk to the Federal Reserve about it. So just watch these things. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, the return to urban living, why more people are moving back to cities, the shocking truth about medical costs. Are you satisfied with your savings? Most Americans are not. You can reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990 or ronsiegelradio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Confused about the home buying process? Or curious how much you really know about buying a home? Take the First Home IQ quiz to test your understanding of buying a home. Created by the nonprofit First Home IQ, this 5-minute quiz will give you a score, what you missed, and why. Take the quiz in 5 minutes at rsrlinks.com/FHIQ and find out what you need to know about buying your first home. That's rsrlinks.com/FHIQ.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by rsrmoney.com. rsrmoney.com, the return to urban living, why more people are moving back to cities. After years of suburban and rural migration, during the pandemic, cities have been making a comeback in the past couple of years. According to the National Association of Realtors, NAR, the percentage of people moving to cities has risen to 16%. While that may sound like a big number to you, it is the highest level, or may not sound like a big number to you. It is the highest level in a decade. And that's a big deal. If you're watching us on ronsiegelradio.tv, any of our socials, or the ABC News and Talk AM 1490 or FM 98.1 video feed, you are seeing a chart. More home buyers are moving back to cities. And the chart shows the percentage of all homes purchased that were in an urban or central city area. Bright MLS seems to confirm this trend in a recent survey. 1 in 5, 20.6% people were looking to buy or say they want to buy in the city, live in the city. So what's behind this ongoing shift to urban living? Let's break down the top 3 reasons why people are trading quiet suburbs for bustling cityscapes. You may find out you want to sell your house with a big yard and move to an urban oasis too. Number 1, it's the vibrant culture. Cities have always been hubs of culture, entertainment, and community. They're packed with energy, and there are always endless things to do. During the pandemic, a lot of that excitement was put on pause, but the last couple of years, cities are buzzing again. There's nothing quite like being able to walk to your favorite coffee shop, pop into a local gallery, see a live concert or show, or grab last-minute dinner at a great spot down the street. It's a lifestyle that's easy to love and one a lot of people want today. Number 2, being close to work. Remote work is still a thing, but most companies are moving to hybrid schedules, even bringing employees back to the office. That makes living closer to work way more convenient. Whether it's cutting down on a long commute or having more chances to network in person, being close to the office is a big plus, especially for industries that thrive on face-to-face connections. Number 3, easy access to everywhere you need or want. One of the best things about living in a city, that convenience, public transportation, top-notch healthcare, and so much more, all within easy reach. For a lot of people, having everything nearby just makes life easier, and it's a big reason they're drawn to urban living. What to do if you want to move to the city? Let's say you moved to a suburban area during the pandemic, and you're missing the excitement of living right off city streets. You're probably thinking, how can I afford to move back into the heart of things with how mortgage rates and home prices are? Here's how other people are doing it. According to data from the Federal Housing Finance Agency, FHFA, home values have gone up by 57.4% in the latest 5 years alone, and that means your house is probably going to sell for more than you bought it for. If you already own a home in the suburbs, you may be able to sell that house and use the equity you get back to fuel your move. Sure, you may have to compromise and be happy with a smaller urban space, but if it's the lifestyle you're craving, trade-off is going to be worth it. Find out what's possible and what it costs to live in an urban area. Lean on a local real estate professional. Bottom line, the urban renaissance is real, whether it's the vibrant culture, being close to work, or having easy access to everything you need. Cities are once again calling, and people are answering. What's your favorite thing about the life in the city? Let me know. What's your favorite thing? Again, let us know. I'd love to find you a home and put you in touch with the right person. Obviously, as a certified liability advisor, we help you build wealth through strategic debt management, and we understand the realtors who know how to help you find the right properties. That is the Real-Time Real Estate segment, brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. I don't know about that. Josh, you looking for that urban life where you can walk to everything? I'm not. I like the idea of, number one, okay, if I want to go to SoFi, I'm not going to live in the neighborhood. If I want to go to the Intuit, I'm not going to live in the neighborhood. I don't like Los Angeles at all. My car sputters at the county line. Yet, where I am, you can drive to any of those places pretty simply and still enjoy what we want to enjoy. But I know there's a lot of people that like living in Los Angeles. And Josh, you're in the entertainment capital of the world. I mean, holy cow! I know the New Yorkers are going to say that it's New York, but I mean, Vegas. What more could you want from Vegas, right? You've got entertainment, you've got restaurants, you've got hotels, you've got resorts, you've got pools, you've got sunshine. You got it all over there, don't you? Oh yeah, you got gambling too. But oh well. I digress. Let's take a look and see. Borrow Smart segment brought to you by rsrhomeselect.com, rsrhomeselect.com. The shocking truth about medical costs. Are you prepared for the unexpected? Today, we're diving deep into a topic that can make or break your financial stability, the skyrocketing cost of medical care. Now, you might be thinking, Ron, why are you talking about medical costs on a show about home ownership and financial planning? Well, the truth is these things are more connected than you might think. As homeowners or first-time home buyers, you're already focused on managing your finances, paying your mortgage, and planning for your future. But what happens when an unexpected medical emergency throws a wrench in your plans? Suddenly, you could be facing a mountain of bills that rival the cost of a new car or even a college education. Just imagine needing a CT scan and getting hit with a bill anywhere from $300 to $6,750, or needing a heart stent that could cost between $11,000 and $41,000. And if you require a knee replacement, the average cost is a staggering $31,124. And those are just the big ticket items. We haven't even talked about the cost of the hospital room, medications, anesthesia, and all the other expenses that come with medical care. It all adds up, and it adds up fast. Now, I know many of you, especially the younger generation, think you're invincible. You might be tempted to skip health insurance thinking it won't happen to me. But the reality is accidents and illnesses can strike anyone at any age. And while health insurance can seem expensive, it's a small price to pay compared to the potential financial ruin of facing medical expenses without coverage. In 2024, the average cost of a benchmark health insurance plan, $477 a month, or $57.24 a year. That might seem like a lot, but it's a drop in the bucket compared to the potential cost of a medical emergency. The good news is there are ways to lower those costs. Many people qualify for premium subsidies through the federal and state government, which can drastically reduce your monthly payments. In fact, the national average of a silver plan after subsidy is only about $66 a month. So even if you're on a tight budget, you can likely afford health insurance. And trust me, it's an investment worth making. Choosing to forego health insurance is essentially choosing to gamble with your financial future. It's like playing Russian roulette with your financial security. If you're currently uninsured, I urge you to take action today. Reach out to a healthcare or financial professional who can help you navigate the insurance landscape and find the best plan for your needs and budget. Don't wait until it's too late. Protect yourself and your family from the potentially devastating financial impact of unexpected medical expenses. And speaking of protecting your finances, I want to remind you that I am a certified liability advisor, and I specialize in helping families build wealth through strategic debt management. I can help you create a solid financial plan that includes protecting yourself from the high cost of medical insurance. That is the Borrow Smart segment, brought to you by rsrhomeselect.com, rsrhomeselect.com. You are listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, are you satisfied with your savings? Most Americans are not. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
As the economy slows, do you know anyone worried about job loss? At Siegel Lending Team, we offer the Home Select Loan. Think of it as a financial superhero cape for homeowners with good income and credit. It not only saves your home, but also throws a life ring to your credit score. Because who needs stress when you can have peace of mind? Let's secure your future with a smile. Visit rsrhomeselect.com. rsrhomeselect.com. NMLS 217037.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Borrow Smart segment today being brought to you by rsrhomeselect.com, rsrhomeselect.com. Are you satisfied with your savings? Most Americans are not. Sound of money slipping away. It's a feeling most Americans know all too well. According to a recent survey by Yahoo Finance and Marist poll, only 22% of Americans are satisfied with their savings, while a whopping 35% are downright dissatisfied. Time keeps on ticking as it does. The financial challenges we face seem to keep piling up. Inflation, rising interest rates, and the lingering effects of the pandemic have left many of us feeling less than secure about our financial futures. But don't worry, folks. I'm here to tell you that it doesn't have to be all doom and gloom. There are steps you can take to regain control of your finances and build a brighter future for yourself and your family. First things first, take a deep breath and assess your current situation. Where are you financially? Are you living comfortably, just making ends meet, or struggling to cover your basic expenses? Next, take a look at your budget. Where can you cut back on spending? Can you pack your lunch instead of eating out? Can you find cheaper alternatives to your usual groceries? Every little bit helps. Now let's talk about savings. Are you putting away enough for a rainy day? Experts recommend having at least 3 to 6 months worth of expenses saved up in an emergency fund. If you don't have that yet, don't panic. Start small and gradually increase your savings over time. Remember, you're not alone in this journey. Many Americans are facing similar challenges, but with a little planning and effort, you can overcome those obstacles and achieve your financial goals. And that's where I come in as a certified liability advisor. I'm here to help you navigate the often complex world of personal finance. I can help you create and customized plan to manage your debt, build your wealth, and plan for a successful retirement. So don't let those financial worries keep you up at night. Take charge of your finances today and start building a brighter tomorrow. Remember, the first step is always the hardest, but with the right guidance and support, you can achieve anything you set your mind to. I am a certified liability advisor, helping families build wealth through strategic debt management. Call me today for a free consult, and let's start building your financial future. That is the Borrow Smart segment, brought to you by rsrhomeselect.com, rsrhomeselect.com. And as always, I ask, set that first radio preset button. Come back and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to Josh and Sean who are engineering us today. And of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.